Good morning, Sandy.
Good morning, Dana. How are you?
Great. Welcome to your show.
Thank you so very much. And hello, everybody. Good morning. You're visiting Sandra Harrick here at Coffee, Tea, or Me. Good morning. I have my cup. Denise Iwana Francisco is over there producing me. So I want to say thank you very much. We've been having a little bit of a glitch with Believe TV and my iPad. So I am sitting outside closer to my Wi Fi and the sky on my iPhone. You'll hear my Alexander Peacock, who's calling from afar. And welcome to Unicorn Fields. This is where so many wonderful animals have been brought here by my husband Bobby, and we have a bit of a petting zoo or a farm. And you'll hear the chickens, the ducks, the various animals say good morning to you. And so I welcome to you the outside of my home and the inside of my heart. So, as I do like to do, and I've been asked by many, especially on the shows that I go and support in working with Dana, is that meditation. And today is a very special conversation because we're going to be talking about separation anxiety. And if there is anything that is more prevalent right now in our world, in our everyday lives, is the fact that we are feeling a disconnect, some type of detachment disorder, attachment disorder. And the separation anxiety is becoming a almost disease that is prevalent. It's seeping into the consciousness, it's seeping into our hearts. And I have absolutely no criticism of what is happening to us as far as the technology. And yet, there is a reality that through technology, we are losing the connection to our tactile universe with touch with each other, with sight with each other, with our voice looking at each other. I'm getting the shivers with our spiritual world and with trees and nature. So it's fascinating that even my computer and iPad and technology says, let's get you out of the house. Let's go directly to source and be outside in nature. My hair is standing up. I don't know if anybody can see that, but we're in a frequency. So, welcome to the show. This is Sandra Harrick, and you're listening to me here at Coffee, Tea, and Me. Deep breath and close your eyes if you would like, or open them wide and look at where you are. And yet take that deep breath. And as we take that deep breath, it's an inhalation to bring us to our internalness, to the awareness that we have something outside us that is available to take inside us, that we are surrounded by this incredible resource, this vast ability to inhale. And if you have trouble inhaling, then just breathe quietly. Take the short breath and hold it for a moment. Listen to the chimes behind us. The breeze is ever so gentle. Feel the rhythm of your body. It is so important to feel the rhythm of your body move, that your chest expands, that your shoulders rise, that you can listen to the environment around you so that you hear in the silence you're not alone. You are with nature. You are with the environment that you have been placed in to experience life. Gentle breath. And be aware of your breath this time. Feel it as it tracks through the nose, up through the nasal cavity, down through the back of your throat. Interestingly enough, when anybody goes into trauma, when anybody goes into hyperventilation, the pretty much only thing that gets us to counter it is to breathe. To remember that your body breathes. And when you're ready, open your eyes or just come into that natural state of whatever you're doing. Grab your tea, your coffee, and just join me here. So today is dedicated to that place of connection, to the place of where are we inside ourselves that yearns, that seeks, that, good morning, Gabriel, that desires to connect and yet has that frustration where so many people, so many of my clients, so many of the people on network are connecting to groups that are through the internet, which is going to happen more and more and more and more, to find like kind, to have association. Separation anxiety and the anxiety that we are experiencing, where there is exasperating amounts of suicide going on, where there are shocking numbers of people that are being challenged with reality complexes, meaning what is real? If I don't have 1,000 likes, am I viable? Do I belong? Do I have a conduit to reality? And so these are real issues. These are real qualifiers. These are real markers that are happening in our society. And so I want to be able to communicate the wave, the infinite energy that is happening with what is happening in society, and how not to forget that this core, this body, this tissue, this breath is our conduit connecting us to the visceral world, the agape love. Meaning, what? Oh, I heard an override there. Okay. There is a beautiful, I'm going to sip. There's a beautiful thing in many cultures that give us the ability to connect to our faith. In the Indian culture, prayer beads. Prayer beads are those beads that I have some. I was going to bring them out and I walked by and forgot them. Prayer beads. You see people wrap them around their arms. You see people hold them and say their prayers. That prayer bead is a vehicle to make you touch something that is made with the intention to have a blessing, a prayer, a human conduit, contact, a natural seed, because most all of the prayer beads are made out of seeds, pits, or now gems. So they are roots from Mother Earth. They are roots from the minerals of different cultures or land imprints that has been made over millions and millions and millions of years, that give us that familiar, that interestingly enough come from the stars, make us a planet, and then through millions and millions of years give us something to touch. Here is a stone, and it was actually gifted to me from the people out there in Michigan. They made it, and it is a beautiful white quartz. And there's that place in when someone picks something up for you and gives it to you, when one bequeaths you a gift, it becomes a amulet. It becomes something that is a marker of integrity that says, this honors my connection to you. And therefore, when someone travels and you leave, it's that beautiful space of take this with you, take me with you, let me be there with you. So if I can't get a hold of you by internet or by phone or by even trying to have a memory, these amulets, these objects, these touchstones become the conduit. When I first went to Switzerland back in the early 80s, my ex-husband and I reconnected, and he gave me his watch. It was a simple Timex, but he gave that to me, and it became the touchstone to something that was so old in our history, but freed us so that we could really go our separate ways. And so they're mementos. Photographs are these mementos. And how do you, let's ask, how do you remember to remember you're not alone when anxiety strikes you and the sense of separation overwhelms you? First and foremost, I want to acknowledge the gratitude I have for what is happening in Thailand with these 12 individual children and the soccer coach. Makes tears. I mean, to know that something in spirit brought someone to see the bicycles, the shoes. Someone of intelligence had to figure out they went into a cave. That they sitting in a group, and they were not hysterical when they were found. They were conscious, they were quiet, they were viable. To see the world rally, to see that there were inside the cavity of the mother of earth, there was a call, come find me. When we go into anxiety, it really is that deep, soulful, spiritual, human call, come find me. A baby has it when they are in their crib, in where when they call out and say in words that are theirs. A mother can hear the calibrations, the cries that are, this one's desperate, this one's hungry, this one's cranky, this one's self-soothing. And you go when you hear the call that really pulls on your heartstrings. As we grow up, those cries, those sounds are altered. We don't sound like an infant if we learn how to grow, but we still have that octave. We still have that ability inside of us to say to our beloveds, our siblings, our neighborhood, our community, our teachers, come find me. I'm in here. And what that call is about, it's below, it's deeper than any of the masks that we put on that have to become developed in order to preserve something and have our boundaries, to have our, who do we look like in our clan? How do we look when we identify ourselves? Transgender society right now is they are taking the masks off that were given to them by society that said only wear this for you to feel connected to my interpretation of society. And there is something in our universe right now that the transgender community is saying, I am saying, find me, allow me to find myself and show myself to you. Do I only get to be who you want me to be? Or do I get to be who I am, and do you sit with me and listen to me and to know that I'm not here to make you right or wrong. I'm here to connect with you and be available to communicate and coincide. There is separation anxiety in religion. There are so many people that I speak to that now have that anxiety of, if I believe in God different than the way I was brought up, does God still believe in me? There's an intelligence in the idea of God, in the source and resource of God and the word. And if you go to God in all these other religions or symbols, source manifests itself in many, many ways. And we, as intelligent human beings, find ways to communicate with what the original imprint is. What is nature? How does rain find us? How has creativity created us? And we bond to something that is like kind. It even says, why do we belong together? I am tree, I am air, I am wind. It is when we started to separate the identity of God from our humanness and saying that God is out there and we have to be good enough to belong to God, that the anxiety of separation, in all due respect, really started to isolate and individualize what we consider to be, do I have the right to be cared for? Do I have the right to exist and belong? Do I have the right DNA to be seen as a qualifier with the privilege to exist and live my life. Separation anxiety, in that reality of once you find your relationship with what is holy or sacred or divine, nature, even if you're an atheist, even if you are someone who knows that whatever God is to someone, it is not to you. And God is not something that you need to have, because you have something that is larger with inside yourself that carries that identity of I exist. I am a good person. I will be a part of whatever is here. So I want to break it down without criticizing or challenging that there is only one way. I really want to engage in the concept of our reality on this planet, that there are so many ways, that here we are again in 2018, still in the conflict of whose God's got it right. Are we allowed to exist in a church we were brought up in if we change our identity? Or, in all due respect, much more honestly, allow our identity that the universe created us, that our DNA brought us to live with, that the seeds from our parents bonded, and here I am, and that which is the divine source and resource, or that which is the God and the holy, gave me this to be proud enough to exist in. And am I safe? Am I safe? Separation anxiety truly goes to the core of, am I safe? I need to see my time. I know it goes by so fast. Did I go over time already? No. Okay, where we go. So there's this place inside of us where breath, when we go into that place of trauma, shock, when we go into that breathlessness, that sucker punch, the dearest friend, one of my dearest, my greatest mentor, passed yesterday. And I'm going to say this simple story because it's one of the most amazing things of the conscious being so much out of touch with the subconscious and spirit, even though I know that she was in hospice. I did not know that yesterday she would be passing. All of a sudden, my whole existence imploded. I had just gone to the chiropractor. There was a disturbance in my force. I was completely aware of the fact that I was losing my consciousness and drifting, to the point where I had another appointment with another energetic healer. And I was so out of my body. I had to take my car to the side of the road. I had to find my way around a town. And I was sitting really on a street that I loved very much in town. There was shade, and there was someone pruning trees. So I was with nature, and I just stopped the car, turned on the air conditioning, and sat there and breathed, took the breaths. I could feel myself be pulled out, and it took a while of breathing to come back in and just be well enough to go to my next appointment. Here I am belching. If everybody knows me, I belch when that truth of energy comes through me. As I went to my next appointment, I had to rally to get into the office. And I sat there, and he was working with me with energy to realign my body, to bring me back to me, so that the resources and energy of my body tissue was literally healthy enough again to see I survive, I exist. It's an amazing process I'm going through. But when I left, all I could do, my separation experience from me was so strong. I knew where I needed to go, and that was my touchstone. Come home, get to bed, and lay down. Allow my body to be safe. Our ducks are having a squabble. There you are. In the beauty of sleeping, when I woke up, I had, okay, wherever I went to was more important than where I wanted to be. Meaning in town, doing chores, interacting with Bobby. I knew I needed to stop. Separation anxiety, when you feel.
Good morning, everybody. Out there at Unicorn Fields, there must be a disturbance in the force, as Sandy was saying. And hopefully she'll be back on in just a moment. But welcome to Coffee, Tea, and Me with Sandy Harrick, live out at Unicorn Fields, talking about the trauma of separation and separation anxiety. And, whenever we're getting ready for sacred ceremony, as several of us are getting ready to go out west, sometimes there are disturbances in the force field or in the energy field, or little trials and tribulations that come along as we're preparing to go into sacred space. So bear with us for just a moment as we try and get Sandy back here. There she comes right now. Good morning, Sandy.
Am I still on? My phone is blank.
Well, we can't see you, but we can hear you.
So do you just hear the phone, or do I hear the which way do I go? I apologize, everybody.
Well,
I said stop, and everything stopped.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just a time to wrap up the show for this morning.
Okay, then we'll do that. So to be with you, let's take another breath and close our eyes. And I'm going to dedicate this moment to Priscilla Hovack. And I want to dedicate this moment to anyone in your life that you are feeling separated from your sacredness, from your humanness, from those that you love. In closing your eyes and taking a breath, visualize that aspect that you are seeking to connect to. And we want your body to acknowledge the yearning, or the isolation. We want your body to inhale the conduit of breath that has been exhaled from a beloved or a lost one, or their visceral energy that is in and on the other side. To bring the beauty of your spiritual community to surround you, your faith, your inner belief system, to remind you that you are with them and they are with you. And to allow the silence that you are in to be filled with the beauty and the quiet. So you can hear the wind when it is blowing by. You can hear spirit when it whispers in your ear. And you can hear the beating of your heart. Take another breath. I'll see you next month as you exhale. If you would like to have a session with me or work with me, my name is Sandra Harrick. My site is Soul Awakenings, SoulAwakenings.org. You can find me here on Facebook. Like the page if you like the show. Share it, please. I'm here once a month. And you can find me working with Denise Iwan of San Francisco. Have a wonderful day. There's Alexander saying goodbye.
Have a beautiful day, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Shine on.